Diddy's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. I think he's probably going to get.
Think he's in a saying though?
I don't know. I don't even think it matters. I mean, it's a lot of it is.
But then it's just another Epstein. It's another Ghislaine Maxwell, where somebody gets indicted
cases.
and nobody else indicted for to
right
no one.
To no one. Right.
Joe Rogan just leaked the prison fight video of Diddy, and the streets are not ready for what it shows. Word is, the footage catches the exact moment things turn physical behind them jail walls, and Rogan is not holding back on what it means. If this is the real deal, the man who once controlled every room is now fighting just to stay standing. The clip captures the exact moment things turn physical inside Fort Dix, and Rogan is not sugarcoating what it shows. A man who once controlled every room he walked into is now in the middle of a confrontation that ends with him getting locked in solitary. The call came clear: isolation for at least a month.
Well, I got a phone call yesterday that Diddy was placed in solitary confinement because he beat up a man. I was told, literally, the phone call was, hey, Diddy choked the man out. He was placed in solitary confinement yesterday, July 23rd, around 4:00 p.m. And he'll be there for at least 30 days is what I was told. I reached out to Diddy's team. At the time, they knew I was calling, but they still trying to figure it out. They said that they don't know either way, but they didn't dispute my phone call.
What happened though?
So all that I know and all that was mentioned to me, I don't know every detail. Literally, though, I said why. They said, sometimes people think that they can play with him, and I don't know if it's because of all of the reporting around the case or if it's because he's a big celebrity and, they think that he's used to being, protected. But I was told people think that they can play with him, and we've told people don't think that. And
I told people 1,000,001 times.
yesterday, he allegedly.
I mean, we laugh at Diddy and all that, but Diddy's not a sucker. I've seen Diddy grab people, yoke people up in clubs, with security there. Diddy's no sucker. Diddy's he's with all the ish.
The streets are saying it may have started as self-defense. An inmate running his mouth, poking at old history, private knowledge, current rumors, until it sparked. In a place where loose talk travels fast, that kind of confrontation can blow in seconds. Either way, solitary is where he landed. That fight video did not drop by itself, but along with a whole stack of leaked prison footage that Joe locked in on hard. The first set of clips show the day-to-day reality inside them walls. Diddy landed in a unit packed with about 20 other men in open dorm-style living. No private cells, thin mattresses, no real pillows, communal bathrooms with nothing but thin curtains, head counts all day, early wake-ups, every move watched, harsh conditions, and overcrowding. Power still flexing though. Streets say he was buying other inmates privileges just to stretch them 15-minute phone calls, running 3 ways, staying connected outside the approved list. But none of that stopped what came next. The environment stayed hostile from the jump. First facility was the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Thick walls, every sound bouncing like a warning. Dude woke up to a knife at his throat, attacked before they transferred him out. That alone set the tone. Folks who'd been inside already said, everybody moves with a blade. The streets were not shocked when the footage of that early pressure started floating. They moved him to Fort Dix, thinking a lower security spot might ease the heat. The testing continued. Other inmates sizing him up, thinking celebrity status made him soft. But Diddy been known to grab and yoke people even when security stood right there in the free world. That same energy followed him inside. While the physical threats kept stacking, other clips started circulating that painted an even darker picture. People seen him looking thinner. Early talk blamed the private chef life disappearing. Then the food footage made rounds. Maggot-infested trays. Inmates refusing to eat. But the streets pushed past diet talk real quick. Word is the drained look and the weight drop came from something heavier. An acute STD, allegedly HIV. Folks saying Diddy been getting down with DL inmates, no protection available at will, and the virus spread among the jail is the term, making rounds. Dudes fighting over who makes the bed, who gets close, and earns approval. Full fan club energy behind them walls.
What was your daily life like in the Fed prison? Because Feds is different from state.
Pretty much different. Constant lockdown, constant stabbing. They are very, very, very high and strict on respect.
According to you, the inmates are fighting over making his bed.
Yep. Well, really, according to Lisa Evers, I want to give her credit.
That's why he wanted to get out, so bad. But I think that they're gonna railroad Diddy. Do I think that they're maggots in the food? I mean, I won't trust anything when you of the stature of Diddy. Do I think they give every inmate maggot food? Probably not.
All the baby oil bottles Diddy was hiding just got recovered from his Los Angeles mansion, and we got it all on camera. First off, let's start by saying Diddy had over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and Astroglide just in that mansion, and this is just one photo out of many. Here, you can see the library mentioned by the Homeland Security agent during his testimony against Diddy. This here is Diddy's nightstand right next to his bed. If you think there's a lot of Astroglide there, wait till you see this next one. You're gonna be shocked. In this photo, it's all the Astroglide bottles still in boxes in his garage. They also found a backpack full of baby oil.
And if the rumors hold, the same reckless pattern from the free world followed him straight in. Then, the next video that hit them both hard showed the emotional crack. Clive Davis gone. The man who allegedly opened the real doors early, shaped more than just the music side of the empire, pulled strings from the outside once the charges hit. Reports and the leaked footage show Diddy breaking down heavy inside when the news landed, wailing like the last real lifeline snapped. Clive had been working angles with the mother and the legal team, according to Street Talk. Other industry names had already distanced themselves completely to avoid going down with the ship.
Mr. Davis, you were a major influence on the career of P. Diddy. Have you spoken to him since the federal raid? You were a major influence on his career. Have you spoken to Sean Combs? Any comment, Mr. Davis? What do you make of the allegations against P. Diddy? Any comments about Diddy? He credits you as one of his mentors.
Breaking news from the world of entertainment. Legendary record executive Clive Davis has died. The music industry titan helped sign massive artists like Barry Manilow, Pink Floyd, shaped the career of Whitney Houston famously, even the boss, Bruce Springsteen. Davis was 94 years old. So,
while all that prison footage is circulating, Joe Rogan is also putting another set of clips on the table. Videos and reports of Leonardo DiCaprio making visits connected to Diddy's situation. That is the part that got the internet going crazy. Why would one of Hollywood's biggest stars still be anywhere near this mess? According to Rogan, the answer might go back years, long before the headlines, the lawsuits, and the investigations. For years, Leonardo and Diddy moved in many of the same celebrity circles. Photos, event appearances, red carpets, after parties, plenty of footage showing the two at high-profile gatherings. Back then, nobody paid much attention. Today, people are looking at those same images completely differently.
Who's the person that's number one on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
yes,
right?
Without a doubt, you are invited.
Rogan has repeatedly talked about the way powerful celebrity networks operate behind closed doors, not necessarily accusing specific people of wrongdoing, but questioning why certain names keep appearing around major scandals long before the public catches on. When people started revisiting Diddy's celebrity connections, Leonardo's name kept showing up. Being photographed with someone is not evidence of anything. That is an important distinction.
I think there's so many fucking powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied. Air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the Diddy parties? Have you been paying attention to the trial?
Oh, yeah.
Trials. Wild. Wild.
Why don't they air it the same way they aired the coverage that,
Johnny
Johnny Depp got?
But critics online are not focused on a single photo. They are focused on the pattern, the repeated appearances, the proximity, the connections stretching back years. It gets darker. DiCaprio been speaking about being inappropriate with young individuals. Joe saying, what could he possibly be discussing with a person not of legal age?
Leonardo DiCaprio going on a 19-year-old. Like, bro, what do you talk about?
Yeah, what do you
talk about? Unless she's the most genius, brilliant, world-traveled, nuanced.
That is why the conversation refuses to die. Every time another image resurfaces, people start asking the same question all over again. How close were they really? And how much did people inside those circles know about each other? In several interviews over the years, Leonardo spoke positively about Diddy, describing him as someone who threw legendary parties and brought people together. At the time, comments like that sounded harmless. Today they hit differently. Not because they prove anything, but because public perception has changed. Once a major controversy enters the picture, people start reevaluating everything that came before it.
Filed your income tax returns yet?
No, I don't do my taxes.
Oh.
My mom does them for me.
Is mom reliable?
My mom's very reliable, yeah.
That's right. Good. Now, would you like a steak dinner? Can we get you a nice big thick steak?
No thanks, Dave.
Tell Tell me a little bit about your name, if you don't mind. Leonardo DiCaprio. It is a very rhythmic, very poetic sort of sounding name. Very nice.
Well,
lovely
thank
name.
you. Thank you
Is
very
there a
much.
story about that? Your parents have something?
Actually, I do have a story about my
Let me hear it.
Meanwhile, some observers noticed something else. As headlines surrounding Diddy intensified, Leonardo largely stayed out of the conversation. No major public campaign, no lengthy interviews addressing the controversy, just distance. Supporters argue that is exactly what he should do. Critics see it differently. They believe public figures who spent years around powerful industry players should be willing to answer reasonable questions when major scandals emerge. Joe Rogan's broader point was not necessarily about proving who did what. His focus was on a culture where powerful people often move through the same exclusive circles for years, while outsiders know very little about what actually happens inside them. Then there is the speculation that Diddy still has dirt, tapes from the freak-off events, and still has people in line. Word on the street is Leonardo even been paying visits. For years, Diddy moved like he was above it all, throwing those legendary parties where power, money, and secrecy mixed heavy. But according to the talk, he had recordings, tapes, and leverage on a lot of big names.
Those people who was caught at Diddy party did not know that he had 250 tape recorders in that house.
That kind of dirt gives a man power, but it also makes him dangerous when things start crumbling. Joe is saying the elites could not let him keep running loose. Once the feds raided his spots and the stories started pouring out, the powerful names tied to him got nervous. They could not risk Diddy flipping and spilling everything he had, so they cut him loose. The same way Epstein got handled when he threatened to talk, Diddy got hit with everything they could throw at him. Federal raids, leaked videos, lawsuit after lawsuit. The machine moved fast once they decided he had to go down. The pattern is too consistent to ignore. Epstein got silenced before he could fully talk. Diddy got buried under charges before his full list could drop. Now the man who once controlled the rooms is sitting in Fort Dix, fighting just to stay standing, watching the same elites who partied with him keep moving like nothing changed. Put the fight video next to the other prison clips, the Leonardo visit reports, and the elite sacrifice talk, and the picture stops looking like isolated drama. A knife at the throat, continued testing, a physical confrontation that ends in solitary. Health rumors the streets refuse to let die, outside support snapping when Clive left, and visits from one of Hollywood's biggest names that raise more questions than answers. Online critics been really wild, as one user puts it. Diddy sounds like Kodak up in there, saying anything to get out. Another said, they trying to do harm to Diddy like R. Kelly. Spotlight on you. How deep does the isolation run when the man who once had the whole industry on speed dial is now fighting inmates and watching old friends keep their distance? What else is sitting in those leaked clips and visit logs that has not fully hit the streets yet? And if the elites really did cut him loose to protect themselves, how much longer before the same pressure that put him in solitary starts reaching the people who ordered the silence? What do y'all think? Let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our next video on the end screen.